I can English today. Hey Nerd World, Charlotte here. So, after 2 weeks, well, technically it's been about 4 or 5 weeks of radio silence from me, you finally get to hear about my BTS concert experience, which happened 2 weeks ago. So, BTS. Holy effing crap. That concert was so good. No, it was so good. I can't even articulate the correct words I want to say about this concert. So I'm just gonna kind of give you a rundown of everything that happened. So on Friday, I had to wake up at about 4:30 in the morning in order to get to the train station by 5 in order to get to the airport to board my 8 o'clock flight. After having been awake the previous night until about 1:30 in the morning. So, running on 3 hours of sleep on that Friday, not a lot of fun. So, I fly out to Fort Worth, Texas. I meet up with my friend, Devin, and this is the first time I was ever actually meeting her in person, so that was a lot of fun. And we got to hang out and talk, and it was just a good weekend with her, and I love her to death. Devin, if you're watching this, I still love you. You're a wonderful human being. But anyway, so Friday we get there and we go out to lunch to this place called K-Pop Burger. It's a restaurant in Fort Worth where all of their burgers are named after different K-pop groups. And so we got to go eat there. And then Friday night was uneventful. We kind of just went to the hotel and just chilled there for the rest of the night. So Saturday, we both woke up and then we got kind of ready and we went and met up with a couple of different people and got to talk to them for a minute. And then we went back to the hotel to kind of finish getting ready. And then we went back for the concert. So as we were walking up towards the venue, one of the local radio stations was there and they were DJing different BTS songs. So as we walked up, I think the first song that they played was Begin. We show up at the venue, there's already a whole bunch of people there. Doors were opening at 5:30, but the show was at 8. So that happened, and so we got there, and we had been kind of keeping an eye on the weather because it was supposed to have been raining most of the weekend. And fortunately, it didn't start raining until we actually got to the venue, but we were stuck outside because they didn't open the doors until 5:30. You would think that they would understand that if it starts raining, you let people inside just a little bit earlier. But I wasn't in charge. I'm not in charge. That's just my thing. They had security kind of funnel us into one line as we walked into the thing. We got our tickets. Devin and I were actually in different sections of the stadium. It was totally cool because there were plenty of people there and plenty of people to get to know and to talk to. Yeah, there were some people in my row and in my section that I ended up talking to, and it was a lot of fun. So we got there and I kind of surveyed my area, the spot that I was in, and it was wonderful. Okay, so talking a little bit about this, there were a lot of people on Twitter that day that were kind of hating on and kind of trash talking the venue because it only holds about 1,000 to 2,000 people. It's a lot less than like the bigger stadiums that they have. And there were a lot of people that were trashing on it and being like, they don't deserve to be in a venue like this. They need to be somewhere bigger where they can get more fans in, and they were just completely trashing on it just because of the size of it. And I was sitting there and I was like, guys, this is actually gonna be better. This is better for them and for us as ARMY because it is a lot smaller. It's a lot more intimate. Like, I was in the nosebleeds. I was maybe 10 or 11 rows away from the very back but I could still see the stage. I could still tell that they were people. I could still see who was who, and I could figure out who was who and not have to solely rely on the video screens up at the top. I mean, so I was in this section here. Like, I could see everything. When I was filming, I was able to get both the stage and the screens, although the lightings and the lighting changes kind of messed with the ability to see the screen and them at the same time. But so I was able to get to see both. It was a lot more personal, and you could feel that in the place. Like, before the show, they were playing music videos. They were playing the music videos, and the just kind of closeness that we all felt, well, or at least the closeness that I felt to other armies and to the people that were there in the venue was a lot more, I think, than if I had gone to like one of the stadiums. And I'm not saying that the people that got to go to like LA or are going to be going to these different stadiums that are a lot bigger doesn't mean your guys' experience is any less valid. This is just my personal experience, and I'm so grateful for it, and I was so happy that I got to go. So actually kind of going into the concert a little bit more, the set list was so good. So they started out with a VCR of just all of them kind of doing their intro, and then the entrance, I can't even English to the point that what even happened is gonna make sense to you guys. The entrance was so cool. So they started off with Idol, and oh my goodness, that was like the perfect opening. It was just watch it. And then after that, I'm not gonna show all of the concert, obviously, but first they did Idol, and then they talked for a minute, kind of introduced themselves, did the first Ment, and then they shifted. They did Save Me and I'm Fine, and then after that they did VRC with JK and J-Hope. So this next part I'm gonna talk about a little bit more in depth, because okay. I can't even articulate. Again, I can't articulate this because it was so good. So you guys know, and I've said this before, but I'm going to continue to say it, J-Hope is my ultimate bias in BTS. And after the VRC, he performed Trivia Just Dance. Oh, my goodness. He is such a good dancer and a good singer. He's just a good performer all the way around, to the point that I was just uncontrollably screaming. And I can't even. No, I love, and something even just about J-Hope, like something about him, like his energy always just draws my eye to him. The way that he moves and the way that he performs is just so captivating, and getting to be able to see that in person was just so amazing, and I loved it. I freaking loved it, guys. And so even though I could go on and on and on and on about J-Hope, I'm gonna stop there, because otherwise I will just keep talking. So after Just Dance, Jungkook performed Euphoria. Okay, his singing just like even just recordings is angelic, live it's even more so. I love Euphoria. I think it's a really good song and it's just so beautiful, but hearing it live is just a completely different sphere. So after Euphoria, the whole group came back out and they performed I Need You and Run. So with I Need You, it was fun because with Suga's verse, he didn't sing. He just held the mic out for us and was like, you guys get to sing. So I don't know if that was just another FU to the haters talking about how they lip sync, even though they obviously don't. But he did it and it was amazing to just get to hear all of the armies singing his verse. I tried to sing, it sounds terrible, but it happened. And then they did Run. And I love how they tried to incorporate ARMY into this. And they had us like jump with them and try and like, in certain songs they would have us sway with them. And it was just a lot of fun. But then after that they had VRC with Jimin and June. And after the VRC, Serendipity and Trivia Love. Both of those songs are just amazing, and they turned Serendipity. It was supposed to, like, the lyrics and like the actual sound is like supposed to be this whole like sweet song, but then the choreography turned it into a baby making song, and it's like, wait, what? No, that shouldn't be a thing, but it happened, and it was really good. And then after the two of them performed their solo songs, then they all came back out and performed DNA. And then they did a medley. So it was Boys with Fun, Attack on Bangtan, Fire, and Bepse. Now, this medley just blew my mind. It was so good. And there was a moment, Devin and I were joking about this. There's a moment in Bepse when they're doing the hip thrusts, and Namjoon, RM, did his hard enough to the point that after the concert we were talking about it, and she was like, dude, I felt a breeze off of his hip thrusts. And we both said, yo, if we end up having babies in 9 months, we know who the father is. That's how intense those hip thrusts were. Oh my goodness. No, and so that happened, and then after that medley, they did Airplane Part 2, which was also amazing. They had another VRC, which was just Tay, and then that led into Singularity. And oh my goodness, I was talking about intense and really sexy. That's what it was when I did my reaction. Again, I kid you not. So I've got some of it. It was so good. Oh my goodness. And then after Tay and his amazing solo song, they did Fake Love, which again, amazing live. After Fake Love, they did another VRC, and this time it was Jin and Suga. The three girls behind me, well, one of them, she was very vocal about how Min Yoongi is her bias. She loves Min Yoongi. She was so loud about it too, but it was wonderful. So Seesaw, also epic. And then after Seesaw, Jin did Epiphany. Kind of going into a little bit more of a serious note here, talking about Epiphany. Epiphany is one of my favorite songs off of this album. Not only because of the message that it talks about in there and about loving yourself and making sure that you love yourself, and if you do, then you'll be able to give that love to other people. That is always applicable, and that's something that I struggle with is loving myself and understanding that I need to love myself. But one other reason that I absolutely adore this song is because of something I'm not sure if I've talked about it at all or not, but my grandmother was actually born and raised in Korea until she met and married my grandfather, who was in the American Air Force stationed in Seoul in her mid-20s. And she ended up passing away about 8 years ago. But Jin's accent when he's singing and talking in English is so similar to hers. Anytime I hear this song, I always think about her, and it reminds me a lot of her, and it just kind of pulls at my heart a little bit. So while he was singing, I was trying not to cry. And even just talking about it now, I am so in love with that, just because it reminds me of her. So kind of moving on from that. And so after that, and then after Truth Untold, the rap line came up out of the floor, and they performed outro, or not the outro. It wasn't an outro in this one. They performed Tear, and just like the vocal line, I love the rap line. I love hearing them rap, and I love just the performance and just the stage presence that they exude. It's just amazing. It's just so amazing, and they did such a good job. And so after Tear, the rest of them came out, the vocal line came back out, and they performed Mic Drop. Oh God. Like, oh man, no, seriously, that, I can't articulate as to what I want to say, but, so they came out and they performed Mic Drop. Let me tell you, Mic Drop is actually one of my all-time favorite BTS songs. I know it's kind of overplayed, but I absolutely adore it because it was actually the first music video that I ever watched of theirs. And just getting to be able to see that live and to hear it live and to see them actually perform it and how well they do it, especially with the dance breaks. Oh, my head almost exploded when that happened. They said before Mic Drop, like, hey, this is going to be our last song. Don't believe it. If you're going to one of their future concerts, don't believe it. Stay. Like, literally, I was there and I was like, no, we're gonna wait because there's probably gonna be an encore. But there were some people, like, right next to me that didn't realize that there was gonna be an encore, so they just left. With the encore, they did, first off was So What. So J-Hope was singing, or rapping, I forget which one it was, but Jungkook did the shoot dance down the runway, and I completely missed it. I missed it because I was so just enthralled with J-Hope, and I was like, he had been doing it for the other concerts, and so I was like, wait, did he do that for ours? And so I went back and watched it, I was like, oh no, he did, I just wasn't paying attention. After that, they did Fun Man. I love that song. It's so cute and so fun. And then they did their ment, their final ment, and then all of them spoke in English at least for a little bit, but then if they got uncomfortable with it, they had a translator there. I was so grateful for that translator so that they didn't feel pressured into speaking English with us. And it was so great, and it was so good to hear because their English is honestly getting so much better, and it's so fun to listen to. A couple of things. Dude, J-Hope's ment, this is what he said.
To be here, we are all. I think we had blast tonight. You guys made this concert so hot.
And I died. And then also, Namjoon, when he comes to the States, he steals Jin's dad jokes, I've noticed. So I also have to thank Devin for filming also filming, because I ran out of storage space on my phone and I didn't get to record his part of the Ment. I can't even say it. I can't even say what he said without laughing. He basically he said this.
This 2 hours and a half was worth it.
I hope it was worth it. Gosh dang it, June. Why? You know, I love dad jokes as much as the next person, but you don't just say that to an audience of 1,000 people. Oh man. And so after their Ment, their final song was Answer, Love Myself. And it was so good. And it was such a good concert. Like I was saying, even though we were in a smaller venue, and I feel like they do this with all of their concerts as well, they try and make it an individual experience for everybody. And that's really what made it. And they are such wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And I absolutely love them to death. All right, well, that was actually my concert experience for you guys. Yeah, that's all that I really have for today. But thank you guys so much for checking this video out and for supporting me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week this week and a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you later.